because the rule of sales is the sweet spot is between 5 to 7 touches, right? Most people, you don't have enough trust and rapport that first call. So 5 to 7 touches is our sweet spot. So you better be making that follow-up, right? You better be making that follow-up, which is going to lead to the 80% of our closed sales. Yeah. This is where a lot of acquisitions people miss the mark because we're focused. Once you gather all of the information from the seller, right? We built rapport. Housekeeping, we set the stage, asked them we asked for permission. They gave us permission. Boom. We started to remove objections. Hey, are all decision makers in place? If we can agree on price, is there anything that's keeping you from agreeing and taking the next steps today, right? We're removing the objections up front. We're finding the pain. Right, pain is found in the situation, right? What is the unique situation that the seller's going through? Right, the pain could be foreclosure, divorce, inherited property, deferred maintenance. It could be sitting vacant. Right, behind on taxes. A lot of different pain points, right? But we gotta find the pain, right? And we kind of brushed over this in the big picture, but the entire process that we're going through, pre-qualifying, building rapport, every step in this process, we're trying to pull out what is the pain point that's coming here, right? Are they moving, right? What is the motivation factor? And how quickly do they need to make a decision, right? The quicker that they need to sell the house, the more pain. The further they're behind on payments, the more pain. Divorce, obvious pain, right? You got to get rid and split up your interest in the property. Inherited property, lots of pain, right? Not only do you have a lot of memories attached to this property inside of it, but good chance that you inherited it. It might be sitting vacant. You don't know what to do with it. They just need to get it off the books, right?
Yeah, and they got to pay them taxes.
Got to pay the taxes. Deferred maintenance, there's pain, right? You got to put money into the house to fix it up. The vacant, it's pain. You got to pay the taxes.
Got to pay the taxes, yep.
And you risking vandalism and squatters, people going in the house, right? A lot of different factors. But every step, every conversation that we're having with the seller, we're just pulling out those pain points. And we're putting them in our toolbox, right? That we're going to use when it comes to the closing phase of the call, right? Now I say of the call, right? Obviously we want to get as much information on the first contact as we can, but we don't want to just push into it. Obviously you want to go for the close.
Yeah.
If the stage is set, if the timing is right, they're ready to make a decision, we're going for it, right? But looking at the big picture, and if we look at the numbers, we know that 20% of our deals are the low-hanging fruit, right? Where the first 1 or 2 contacts, seller's ready to make a decision, they've raised their hand, and they're ready to go. However, 80% of our closed deals are coming from long-term follow-up, right? So we know that we got to stay in front of the seller. Now, we do have an automated system, right, which we have an in-depth training on the CRM we're using and how it continues to hit these sellers on automated drip sequences, right, sends texts and emails automatically without the acquisitions person having to physically do the task, right? So again, important to have the long-term follow-up. But we just say this to say, in the 20%, yeah, we want to handle it on this call, but you also want to take accurate notes and make sure that that's put into the CRM and the database. So every time that we get back on the phone with these people, because the rule of sales is the sweet spot is between 5 to 7 touches, right? Most people, you don't have enough trust and rapport that first call. So 5 to 7 touches is our sweet spot. So you better be making that follow-up, right? You better be making that follow-up, which is going to lead to the 80% of our closed sales.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of acquisitions people miss the mark because we're focused on the pipeline. We're focused on this hamster wheel of just generating more leads, more opportunities, spending more money on marketing, but we're leaving the leads that we already have on the table for someone else to pick up and solve the seller's problem, right? So big picture of it, guys. In this call, we're pulling out the pain points. Don't just keep it in your head. Make sure you're taking notes, right? If you're doing it the dinosaur way, write it in your notebook. If you're doing any type of business and you're bringing at least 3 to 5 leads a day, you got to pivot over to a CRM platform. CRM standing for customer relationship management, right? Got to stay in front of them, and you got to make sure you're taking accurate notes and pulling out that pain. All right, let's go in depth, man, with really how you find the pain and how you're pulling that out to utilize in your negotiations.
I was gonna say, so finding the pain is really easy. It's just being a good listener, and again, you're just building rapport. Some people call and they just want to talk, and if they have a problem, usually with their house, they want to tell you about it. And so it's just, active listening for the pain and seeing what problem I can solve, whether it is a foreclosure. If it's a foreclosure, well, how did that happen? How long do you got before they close on your house? How can I help? I say things like that. Or let's say the pain is they got a job out of state. What job is it? How long have you been doing that? How can I help? Do you need a moving truck? Seems like you need to be out of town pretty fast. What are you thinking? 30 days, 60 days? You just start asking those questions. Let's say it's a probate and they have a loved one that they lost. Say, oh, I'm very, very sorry for your loss. How can I help? Do they still have stuff in the house? Are you guys in the middle of moving stuff out? Like, how does that make you feel? You're just asking questions, and it's just active listening to people. I don't ever try to over talk anybody or anything like that. I'm just listening to people, and I am responding, and I am seeing how I can help. Because obviously, if they called, they have a problem. You just have to listen, find out what that problem is, and then you dig into your tool bag to see how you can solve that. And hopefully that's buying the house.